Hello dear founder! Today I want to speak with you about one thing that's important for any successful IT project. Yes, the great mother of any development journey, discovery phase. Right now you will see what is a discovery phase, when you can and can't avoid the discovery phase, what is implicit requirements and why price of mistake much cheaper during design stage. We will write to 4 different companies around the world to find out how much discovery phase cost and what you should receive in the final result. My name is Nick, I am founder of software development company. Like, subscribe, let's go! Okay, what is a discovery phase? Any successful IT project should go through some certain steps. So discovery phase, it's the first step of the whole roadmap. And this is how general development process look like. See this green baby in the beginning? Yeah, she will take all our attention today. When we speak about creating IT projects, the concept very close to building process in a real estate. Yes. Firstly, you need to define what you want to build. Secondly, you need to build this. And on the last stage, you need to check that everything works properly and suit your needs. But before you start development process, you need to define how many rooms you will have, how many square meters, and where your house will be located. Imagine that you skipped all these processes and told your worker to build right now without any plan. Final result wouldn't satisfy you, because you and him have different minds and different views of how it should look like. As a result, you will just burn your money, my friend. This is the main goal of discovery phase. Decrease the risk that project may be unsuccessful. For example, you need to connect some sockets in your house. You had given this task to workers, they did it, but suddenly they settled up it in the wrong place. In this situation, you will pay not only for replacement sockets to correct position, so you need to cover all these expenses as well, because you don't have any other choice. Yeah, good question appeared in your head. How I can avoid this? The answer is very simple. You can't. Why? Because we live in the world of possibilities. During this year, you have a chance between 1 and 3% to be in a car accident. If you reject any usage of a car, you can decrease these chances to almost 0%. Yeah, the keyword is almost. Because cars is anyway around you. Back to our builders. If you write a detailed plan that this socket should be there and not there and repeat this information to your builders at least 5 times, you can decrease the chances of unsuccessful work from 17% to 5%. Quite simple, right? The more risks you cover, the less chances of your failure. Absolutely the same logic we have when we want to develop some application. For example, you selected the wrong tech stack in the beginning, but recognized your mistake only in the middle of development process. To fix this terrible situation, you unfortunately have only 2 ways. First one is to move everything to trash and start from scratch. Second one is to find some possibilities to rewrite unuseful functionality. But in both scenarios you need to spend additional time and money to fix this terrible mistake. Okay, there are also some good news. You recognize this issue only in the middle of development journey, not in the final steps. Yes, my dear founder, you are lucky enough because you haven't spent your marketing budget yet. Furthermore, your reputation is still clear and users don't have any negative impressions about your product. And this is a tragic example of a company that recognizes their mistake only after release. In the beginning of 2019, 2 airplanes crashed because of mistake in the software. As a result, company lost not only $100 billion of their capitalization, but also reputation and competitor advantage because more than 300 people died. All these examples led us to this chart. It says that if you are not ready to spend additional $100 during discovery phase, you should be ready to pay $10K in maintenance stage. Right now you should have one question: where I should spend $100 to have a confidence that project is moving to the right direction. To answer this, let's discuss what you should receive in the end of discovery. When you want to build a house, you can start without certified architecture plan that is approved by authorities. The agency that will make this plan for you should follow strict criteria to pass these standards. Unfortunately, there is no standards for discovery phase in IT field. Yes, we have a BABOK. It's a holy bible for any BA, and according to it, you should receive this amount of documents after discovery phase. But it's only a recommendation. Referring to my experience, you should have next 4 files by the end of the discovery. Technical overview with all stakeholders' requirements, software architecture plan, prototypes of the project, budget spreadsheet plus development roadmap. Next 3 positions can help you with this, but their price per hour can make your wallet cry. Firstly, we should hire a business analyst. His main goal is to find out all explicit and implicit requirements. Secondly is a software architect to build a plan of stable infrastructure according to business needs. The last member is UI/UX designer for creating clickable prototypes. In this team, BA is a core player because other team members have strong dependencies on his work. His main responsibility is not only to scrap all customer requirements and transfer them to development team, but also determine information about the possible effects of the end users and all stakeholders. Math is simple. The more time BA spends on formatting specifications, the less chances of mistake in further development process. This person should have huge huge expertise. Otherwise, you can face a situation where your team is fully desynchronized and as a result you will lose your time and money again. As I mentioned, another important part of his job is to find out all explicit and implicit requirements. To understand better what I'm talking about, let's return to our house building process. Explicit requirements are clearly and precisely stated conditions specified by stakeholders. For example, customer said, this house should be located not farther than 20 kilometers from downtown, it should have 2 floors, and a swimming pool. In turn, implicit requirements are states of the product that customer will expect to receive by default. For example, comfortable temperature during summer and winter, windows in all living rooms, and utilities such as electricity and water. There are also one type of requirements that we didn't mention, because it's hidden requirements. Those requirements are not explicitly stated by the stakeholders, but are essential for the success of the business project or process. Yeah, let's look on example again. Our happy family already has 2 kids, but parents want another one, so we should plan the possibility of adding an additional bedroom. Also, husband fall in love with playing drums. It means that at least one of the locations in the house should be sound insulated. The same technique we are using to scrap information about future IT project. Let's imagine that some company want to set up additional sales channels through a landing page. They want to take information about clients' needs via submitting form. In this difficult case, we'll have next requirements. Explicit is, user should fill first name and email, client data should appear in company CRM after submit. Implicit we say, form design should style web page SAM, there should be form validation. About hidden, phone number because the company may need to reach out clients in the future, connection to Google Analytics, captcha to avoid spam. What do you think will happen if BA didn't notify team about form validation? 1 out of 10 users would be lost, because client may fill the wrong data. So you got that this guy should be smart and have enough time for his research. After all requirements have been scrapped, we have 2 ways. First one is to transfer them to software architect for define a suitable tech stack with infrastructure. Then send both documents to designer for creating clickable prototypes. Second one is to transfer requirements to designer. In that case, you will create an architecture plan later based on sketches. Proper way depends only on what you want to build. What about their responsibilities? Architect main goal is to find the most suitable and efficient tech stack according to project needs. And of course, prevent a future where engineers need additional budget to rebuild something. About designer, he should create interfaces due to the best UI UX practices. It's also provide insurance that developer will place button in the correct place. Based on these 3 documents, we can make the final one that contains estimates about budget and timelines. The final document should be prepared by a person who will be responsible for the whole project technical destiny. You can call this position whatever you want. The main idea, he should have enough skills to format proper outlay and release project according to it. Take in mind, poor requirements is the reason of project failure at 39%. The main point of all these documents is to decrease this risk. Okay, now you're ready for a final question. How much it costs? To answer it, let's write to 4 different companies around the world. We start from India, it's the biggest offshore development zone. Then move to the US, the home of the most powerful tech companies. After United Kingdom, as one of the strongest Europe economies. The finish line is Ukraine, a major offshore zone in Eastern Europe. But there is a problem. If I write directly to tech vendor with such requests, they wouldn't react in a standard workflow way. To avoid this, we need to create a persona. It will give our research more confidence. That's why let's say greetings to John. Bonjour! John is a French entrepreneur who owns a wine retail business. He knows a lot about wine, but not much about software and development. Such activity brings John 10 million annual revenue in euros. A few weeks ago, he got a conversation with one of his competitors, and this guy says that thanks to providing IT solutions, he increased revenue by 7%. He didn't mention what exactly he did, but John believes that there is a possibility of doing the same thing for himself. So he is looking for a trustworthy IT company, and our secret duty is to help him with this. Before starting our reach out process, we should first create a business email. If you are not ready to pay $12 per month for Google, you can use Zoho Mail to take it for free. The only thing that is left, buy a domain at GoDaddy and connect it. Why we can't use personal email? Well, some companies might have validation process. In this case, they wouldn't react to mail that was sent not from a corporate domain. Okay, now it's time to find a proper tech vendor. Take in mind, John don't know what is a discovery phase and what the development process should look like. That's why we will play a role of a non-technical founder. List of tech companies I got from Google. We should just enter their webpage, fill the form and press submit button. It's done. Now we need to wait for somebody's reply.
24 hours later.
Firstly, John received a reply from the India team. They asked him to jump on a call to discuss details. Guy scheduled a time and in a few hours started conversation. John gave a quick intro about him and his business needs. Then SDR told few words about his company.
And we have a team of the 700 IT resources working under the same roof. Okay, and we are working in the every latest technology for web development, mobile app development, digital marketing QA as well. Like we are providing end-to-end solutions to the clients, right?
The strangest thing for me was that he didn't turn on camera. And I want to remind you, he represents 700 people company. Generally, he proposed to set up a web page for John's business and some social media marketing activities that cost $2,300 per month. Unfortunately, it's not something that we really need, so let's write to another company. Same workflow, and we are on a call with another SDR from India who has a webcam.
Hey, how are you?
Great, and you? Moreover, he impressed John with good speaking skills and empathy. They had a wonderful 30 minutes conversation where they discussed John's business and what solution may help him. In the end, he shared screen and proposed to create an application within 8 months and approximately 15-25k. How such solution may help increase revenue, he didn't describe it. Moreover, he didn't format the proposal, even after notification from John's side. Such behavior made John very upset. So next company is located in New York. Their salesman proposed a meeting at 7:30 p.m, which is quite late for John. But of course he agreed to have a call with Big Apple resident. And this dialogue went really well. After only 10 minutes he proposed to have a discovery phase that it would include the work of BA and the solution architect. It will also take between 2 and 6 weeks to find out possibilities to increase John's revenue. Finally, at the end of this process, John will see prototypes of how his application will look. There was also one thing that was made my day. Remember our example with houses?
Very much like, before you build a house, you're going to go through these foundational things and you're going to blueprint it before you actually lay concrete or build anything.
I was really happy to hear that the best US salesman used the same example as I do. On the next week he formatted a proposal for 10 workshops with the development team to find out possibilities of increasing John's revenue. The price for this is 16,000 euros. So the next step in our journey is the United Kingdom. John jumped on a call with sales from Dublin. He looked quite experienced and trustworthy. Do you know this barman from pub who became your best friend in 5 minutes because he is so charming? Yeah, that was him. Furthermore, he invited a software architect on this call, so she asked her questions about business infrastructure. Generally, we spoke about John's business pains and possible ways of providing software to resolve them. We agreed to sign an NDA plus set up an additional Q&A session with their BA to define high-level requirements. After second call, they sent a proposal very close to previous one, but for 15k. Okay, now it's time for Ukraine. In this area I have amazing advantages that I wanted to use. As a part of C-level IT community, I just post a PO how much your company charge per discovery phase. Results you can see on the screen. It's truly region benchmark. After investigation of all this data, John have clear understanding that cost depends not only on the company location, but also on expertise. Take in mind, discovery phase is approximately 20% of the whole development way, so final price will be close to this point. If you want to develop some startup or MVP, it can cost 10,000. If it's healthcare system for the government, you might pay a few millions. In conclusion, there is the last question. Does it possible to skip a discovery phase? Well, this decision is fully your responsibility. Did Zuckerberg get discovery phase before starting to build Facebook? No, but he reached a success. Did Boeing spend millions of dollars for creating prototypes of secure jet? Yes, but they failed. You should understand that you can't spend all the budget on discovery, because you may face financial issues in development or marketing. On the other side, you should invest in this, to avoid mistakes in future that may lead you to bankruptcy. Find the proper balance is your work. I just hope that this video will help you make wise decision on your development path. Also, if you need any help with IT development, feel free to reach me out through the link below. It was your trustable Chief Executive Officer, we'll see you in next video.